In this series, we will learn how to create a manual using Blender and Illustrator, as was used in this example shown on your screen. To make it easier, we will use a Blender tool called Freestyle that converts a 3D model into a line drawing. Freestyle uses an algorithm that can detect edges or suggestive edges, like with the cylinder here, and convert them into lines. To be able to convert these lines into SVG, we first need to install an extension within Blender. We go to Edit, Preferences, go to Get Extensions tab, click Allow Online Access, type in SVG in the search bar, and search for the Freestyle SVG exporter and click Install. You can now close the preference dialog. In the right panel, go to the Render Settings, enable the Ray Tracing checkbox, the Freestyle SVG Export checkbox, and Freestyle. Now go to the World Settings, go to the color, and change it to white. Now select the lamp and press X to delete. Click on the delete button. Now go to the render menu and click render image. If everything was set up correctly, you will see the cube with the freestyle line edges. And because we have enabled the Freestyle SVG exporter extension, in the background it now saved also an SVG file. So at the right side, at the properties, go to the output properties. And when you now go to the output section, you will notice that default folder is temp. You can always change that if you want to, where your images will be stored. So when we now go to the folder, we'll see an SVG has been created here. An SVG that we can open within Illustrator. And as you can see, it's a pure vector drawing where we can change the properties. I want to make a remark about the file naming, being that it's 001.svg, which is driven by the timeline here. So for example, if I change it to another number and render it again, and go back to the folder, you will see another one is created with that file name. This is also how we store different views. So I recorded a video clip about how to import CAD assemblies into Blender, and that is the lamp that I'll be using in this example. First of all, I need to delete this cube, so I'm going to select it and press X to delete. Click on the delete button. The second thing is, as not everyone is using a keyboard with a numpad, I go to Edit, Preferences, Input, and be sure to enable Emulate Numpad. Next is opening my lamp. So I'm going to import GLB, go to the folder where my lamp is, select the file and open it. If you're new to Blender, this is the camera, but the camera is still not active. So here we have our view and we have the camera view. So now we're working on the view. So to make the camera active, I'm going to select it, right click, set active camera. As you can see, our lamp is too small. So I'm going to select it by left clicking and dragging it. Then go to View, Frame Selected. And now the view is zoomed in. So the problem is that this is the world view and not our camera view. So we need to align those two. So how we do that is by pressing Ctrl-Alt-0. And now the camera view is aligned with the view. So if I render it out, we have our little lamp. If the material bothers you, you can select one of the parts and go to the material properties. Change the color to something more white. Change metallic and roughness to 0. So when we now render, we have our freestyle render, but in a neutral color. So regarding how cameras work, there are a lot of resources on YouTube, so I'm not going to explain that here. But I want to show you how we can proceed. I can, for example, select this and frame it. Ctrl-Alt-0. And then render. When I now go to my temp folder, you will see we have our second SVG to insert into our manual.